Hi everyone, welcome back to The Wandering Screen. I'm Matt Koss, and today I'm diving into the wild, wonderful chaos of fall festival season. Between Venice, Telluride, and Toronto, the lineup is stacked for the upcoming film awards season, and if you follow the Oscar race as vehemently as I do, this is when things really start to heat up. I've pulled together 6 of the buzziest films making noise on the Lido, in the mountains of Telluride, and up north at TIFF, and the reactions coming out at the festivals and what kind of awards traction they might be building as we head toward the end of the year. So let's get into it. First, I'm going to start with House of Dynamite, directed by Kathryn Bigelow. And it's only Kathryn Bigelow that could make a nuclear thriller feel so visceral. House of Dynamite dropped at Venice and immediately had people buzzing and also catching their breath. The film's structure is fascinating. There's 3 chapters, and each goes further up the chain of command as America responds to a nuclear missile heading toward not New York, not Los Angeles, Chicago. The reception to the film has been electric, with festival goers talking about the slick white-knuckle thriller like it'll be a Best Picture contender. Think Zero Dark 30 levels of intensity, but underneath it's a furious meditation on the fragile systems that we put our faith in, the technology and politics and defense protocols. Bigelow argues they all crumble in the face of actual annihilation. And the title is no metaphor. The House of Dynamite is the planet itself. And I'm so excited about this one. Reactions out of Venice compared it to Dr. Strangelove for the 21st century, though without the satire. In terms of awards, Netflix is clearly positioning this as a big Best Picture player, and hopefully will give the film a substantial theatrical window. Bigelow could be looking at her 3rd directing nomination, and don't be surprised if the sound, the editing, and visual effects branches eat this up. Now let's look at J. Kelly. Noah Baumbach's J. Kelly premiered at Telluride and charmed audiences right away. The hook is that Mr. George Clooney plays a fading movie star traveling through Europe with his daughter before she goes off to college. Clooney's character is genuinely likable, not the narcissistic or toxic archetype we're used to in Baumbach movies. He's warm, charismatic, and magnetic, which makes it all the more painful as we slowly realize the wreckage he's left behind. Clooney is said to give one of his best performances in years. Funny, self-deprecating, and cutting when it needs to be. And Adam Sandler plays the longtime manager to J. Kelly and is getting some serious awards attention for his role. The buzz is that this could be Clooney's return to the Oscar conversation, maybe in Best Actor, and Baumbach is still in the good graces of the Academy after Marriage Story. Sony Pictures Classics is releasing it in mid-November, perfect for awards positioning without feeling too heavy-handed. Now, for something a little darker, Park Chan-wook is back with No Other Choice, adapted from Donald Westlake's novel The Axe. It's a pitch-black satire about a laid-off worker who starts killing his job competitors. Premiering in Venice, this one turned heads for how audaciously funny and disturbing it is at the same time. A lot of the festival goers had tipped this film to win the top prize, but alas, it was left out of the conversation, and Park leans into surrealism and slapstick, turning the horrors of capitalism into something grotesque but oddly relatable. People coming out of the festival were saying only Park could pull this off. In terms of awards, this feels like a long shot with the Academy, and probably will get into the foreign films category unless Neon decides for a very hard push. But it could also show up in the screenplay categories in the Critics' Choice too. At the very least, it cements Park as one of the boldest filmmakers still working today. Now we come to The Testament of Anne Lee. File this under festival wildcards. Mona Fastfold premiered The Testament of Anne Lee at Venice and reactions were all over the place, which is usually a good sign that a film has some staying power. It's a full-blown musical biopic of Ann Lee, who was the founder of the Shaker faith movement, starring Amanda Seyfried. And Amanda Seyfried sings and stomps her way through 18th century spiritual revivalism with musical numbers that feel both historically grounded and totally modern. Fast Forward, of course, is married to Brady Corbett, who directed The Brutalist last year, and there are a lot of similarities being spoken about between the films. Something like the second half falters and it's overlong, but it's also being hailed as creatively inventive and one not to be missed. And a lot of people have called it insane, but brilliant. And Seyfried's performance is already being talked about as a Best Actress contender. Between this and Mank, she's really carving out a fascinating post-Mean Girls career, though we shall see also a new Mamma Mia sometime soon, I think. A24 releases it in mid-December, which screams we want Oscars, so keep an eye on this one, especially in acting and costume design categories. And this one, I'm so excited about Hamnet, directed by Chloe Zhao. This one's been on people's radar since it was announced, and it's one that I'm most excited for. Chloe Zhao adapts Maggie O'Farrell's novel Hamnet, and Jessie Buckley plays Agnes, Shakespeare's wife, and Paul Mescal as the young bard. And folks, it sounds like it delivers. Premiering at Telluride, Hamnet was described as tender, devastating, and visually gorgeous, and Zhao balances intimacy with scope, and Buckley is apparently phenomenal. If you haven't seen her in Wild Rose yet, add it to your list of Jessie Buckley films to catch before Hamnet comes out. This film is being poised as her Oscar moment, and she's been nominated before, but Hamnet might be the one to push her over the line. Searchlight has this dated for December, prime time for awards voters. Expect Best Picture, Best Actress for Buckley, possibly Best Supporting Actor for Mescal, and Zhao back in the directing race. This could be the prestige drama of the season. And then we have Begonia, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. And finally, after Kinds of Kindness, he's back with Begonia, which premiered at Venice and instantly polarized because, of course, it did. Jesse Plemons plays a paranoid beekeeper who believes Emma Stone's farmer CEO is an alien. He ropes in his cousin, played by newcomer Aidan Delbers, and things spiral from there. It's dark, it's funny, it's tragic, basically peak Lanthimos, more dogtooth than Kinds of Kindness. Reactions out of Venice were glowing for Plemons, who people are calling a lock for Best Actor nominations. He doesn't play it big. He plays it haunted, desperate, unnervingly sincere. This feels like it could be his year. And Emma Stone might find herself double nominated again. Expected to be divisive and expected to show up in a lot of top 10 lists. So that's a snapshot of the fall festival slate. We had House of Dynamite, Jay Kelly, No Other Choice, The Testament of Ann Lee, Hamnet, and Begonia. 6 films with wildly different styles, but all with the potential to shape the award season conversation. And if you're tracking the Oscars, this is when the puzzle pieces start to fall into place. Who's got momentum? Who's peaking too early? And which films are going to come out of nowhere in December? Let me know in the comments section which of these you're most excited for and which one you think is taking home the gold come March. And if you enjoy this kind of breakdown, reviews, festival recaps, awards chatter, hit subscribe to keep wandering the screen with me. See you next time.